Alright, so, I am not recording this live because this is Jen BB's boss who's calling me, and it's pretty important to make sure every part of it is recorded. Um, Jen BB's boss, many of these professional type people, they got restricted numbers or private numbers. Now, you might not think of that as a big major issue. Miss Peach has had the same issue that I do. Well, slightly different. For her, she doesn't answer restricted numbers because she's got bill collectors after her ass. For me, most of my restricted numbers are threats and harassment. So I don't really want to answer a restricted number. I do, because it might be an officer, it might be the FBI, it might be Jen BB. But at the same time, it all needs to be recorded, every bit of it. If I record it, then there's no argument. The truth is there for everybody to see. But if I don't have the ability to record it, then I end up with major issues because it's their word versus mine, and I'm the one who's called mentally ill. So I'm hoping that her boss calls back. She said, see, I went into the bathroom. She called me while I was on the toilet, and I did answer it. I let her know I was on the toilet and asked her to call back. Alright, so the major point here, this video is already more than 5 minutes long, and this lady has not called back. She said 5 minutes. And it is, let's see, it says 9:26 a.m. and it's 9:38 a.m. So, what's that, 12 minutes? More than 5. More than 5 by a lot. Now there's that person who goes by MX, who's a goddamn troll. Oh, it looks like there's 2 different Tina profiles. Tiny Tina profiles, sorry. Which is weird. Oh, she had to make another one. She typed... Here, I'll take a screenshot of that. Tiny Tina typed to me, "My account got blocked, you moron. You seem like the predator that you're accusing so much, and there's a reason why there's thousands of hateful comments towards you. You're guilty. She was scared of you. She told her friends that you should be blamed if anything happened to her. And yes, I am being a bully. You are not a victim. You are a murderer. You're still obsessed over this poor girl. This is beyond sad and sickening. I'm not obsessed over Natalie. I'm obsessed over the goddamn abuse!" I am obsessed with human rights. Not just mine, not just Natalie's. Ours. Regardless of skin color, regardless of gender. Regardless of age. If you're 10 years old and you're being victimized in the system, yes, the police need to take your goddamn report. They need to fucking investigate it. How much of this did the cops investigate? None. Not even a little bit. Now these people like Tiny Tina, a lot of these people, because they want to believe the slander, and because I was never allowed a day in court, these people continue to be harmful. But it's fine, right? Because I have a penis, because I don't have any money, because of the mentally ill tag. Fuck you. Now, since she typed that, I'm gonna hit the ha-ha button again. Yes, people still call me a murderer. Probably had about 10 of them so far this week. Not bad. See, Brandon Ratner, I typed to him, "If it weren't for the railroading I got, I'd walk to see you." He lives in Colorado. I can't walk to see him there. I'll get picked up before I make it 10 miles in. He typed, "That's fair. I'm broke. If I had gas enough in months now, I'd have driven out. I haven't even had money for food in what feels like a while." It's not that people didn't want to help. It's that most of them didn't have the ability to. Too broke. I didn't have the ability to. Too broke. The first thing that the cops did was make sure that my income was taken. I really don't think this lady's going to call me back. I really do get the feeling that she is completely full of shit. Let's see, this guy Tito Santos just sent me a friend request. Ah, here she is. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, are you Jen Beebe's boss?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm sorry if there's a bunch of crinkling. I'm in a horse trailer and I've got aluminum foil on the walls and the ceiling so that when it gets dark it'll reflect the light. So if you can hear that in the background, I'm sorry about that.
No, that's you're fine.
Thank you. Ma'am, Jen Beebe has not made any attempt to contact me in about 5 months.
Okay.
She was supposed to, claimed she was gonna, claimed that she was gonna write a report about a few of the situations that I was abused in and she was manipulated in, and that was all the way back in December. She called me once, and it was just once. It wasn't while I had my phone on me, and she has made no attempt to call me back since then. I've called her. Well, I'm trying not to call her fucking 500 times, pardon my French, but, you know, I've called her at least 30. She hasn't returned any calls, and I'm having to deal with predators that nobody's going to do anything about. I mean, the thing is, when Tamara was my caseworker through Region 1, she knew what she was doing, and she did it very well and very professionally, and she was also very familiar with autism. The thing with Jen Beebe is that this has been ongoing for close to 2 years since she first started working with me, and the thing is that she is witness to a great many of the things that I've gone through and endured. But the other thing is that she's definitely not Tamara. With all of the court stuff that I've got going on, I need Tamara to testify.
Pardon me, sir?
I said, with all of the court stuff that I've got going on, the fact that I keep getting railroaded because of my disabilities and because they use the term mentally ill, I need Tamara to testify. And I know she doesn't work with you guys anymore.
No longer with the region, and I would have no way of knowing how to contact her.
All right. That really is unpleasant.
Do an investigation into Jen and her work with you.
You know, she's a witness to many of these situations, and it's pretty important for her not doing her job in the last 5 months has resulted in a lot of harm against me and resulted in me being in a very desperate situation where I can't defend myself. I haven't been able to defend myself for over 3 years. That's part of the reason that I need Tamara to testify. But the other thing is, the situation was with Jen Beebe and the officers who harmed me. Jen Beebe told me that the cops told her that I grabbed or reached for their gun and tried to suicide by cop. Now, this is because those police officers not doing their jobs and also covering for the wrongdoing of other officers who didn't do their jobs resulted in dead people. My friend Natalie Bollinger is dead. And a lot of people have died since then, and the police officers have been trying to hide the fact that, Well, they knew what was going on, they just didn't care. They ignored crimes against a disabled person.
Yes. Sean, I will do an investigation as to, you know, looking at Jen, and then we can get back with you. Is that all right?
I suppose so, but really it's pretty important that Jen calls me.
All right.
Do you know when she'll be able to do that?
I need to do an investigation on, you know, what has or hasn't been done, and I will have her contact you.
Alright. Well, I've got a lot of stuff that if you're gonna do some investigating, I'm gonna try to gather as much information I can so I can get you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and as full and complete set of evidence as I can. The problem is that I'm not technically savvy. I have Asperger's. I have. Usually, I'm a lot better than I am now, but under extreme circumstances, I shut down. And Tamara, she's familiar with autism. That's why it was important for me to work with her. When she quit her job, that's when everything just fell right through. I mean, she was literally the only person for the last 3 years until I finally got an autism advocate a couple of months ago. She was the only one who actually helped how I needed. She was the only person who understood autism and instead of victimizing me for being autistic, worked with me and understood my disabilities.
Well, like I said, sir, Tamara's no longer with the region, and I have no idea how to contact her. And I will do an investigation, and I will have Jen contact you, all right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Bye.
Bye.
I wonder if her investigation will involve taking a statement about those situations from me. She seemed pretty interested in getting off the phone. Now, with the whole restricted number thing, Miss Peaches, she said that she doesn't know if the cops called her or not because she doesn't answer restricted numbers. But given the fact that they didn't talk to any of the other witnesses either, it's a pretty good goddamn chance that they didn't call her. If you work for the government, you should not be allowed to have a restricted number. If you work for San Francisco Police Department, it should say San Francisco PD when you call me. Not restricted. Anyway, I suppose this video's over. I'm fucking tired, but I'm awake, if that makes any sense. The longer I have this panic attack, the longer I'll be awake. The longer I'm awake, the more crazy I come across as. I'm tired of the nightmares, I'm tired of the abuse, I'm tired of the threats. Really, I'm just tired. In person, without someone in person, none of this matters. Without someone willing to fight for my rights, none of this matters. They preyed on the term mentally ill. that was their weapon. It wasn't the only weapon they used. It's the weapon that they used to get away with it, though. Just like Natalie. Natalie accused me of being on drugs, even. Whatever makes her feel better, right? Just because I love you doesn't mean that I'm going to take your side. One person was typing about, well, what if that was your daughter? What if that was your daughter? I'm going to tell you something. If my adult daughter did what Natalie Marie Bollinger, the adult, did, my daughter wouldn't be living in my house. She wouldn't be staying in my house. She'd be in jail. If my daughter did the things that Natalie did, I would turn her in. Me and Chris Stegman were having a conversation today about his dad, right? And it's really not about his dad, it's about the emotional connection to it. And, you know, he runs scenarios same as I do. We're both very autistic. We both have the same IQ. We think a little bit different. But the thing that I proposed to him, I said, hey, between loyalty and honor, you know, which one do you choose? He said, honor. That's what I choose too. I said, well, let me give you a scenario. Let's say your dad murdered somebody. He's like, well, I guess it depends on who it is. I'm like, I'm not finished. Don't change the scenario. Just let's understand that yes, we know that your dad wouldn't do this. We're not arguing over whether or not your dad would or would not. This is just the scenario as it's presented. Your dad killed somebody. There's somebody innocent that you don't even know. Now, if you keep your mouth shut, your dad gets away with it. But this innocent person that you don't know is going to go to prison for the crime. Would you turn your dad in? Not only would I, but I did. When I called the cops on my dad, he did some pretty fucked up shit. When I called the cops on my mom, she did some pretty fucked up shit. But you know, for the most part, I didn't call the cops unless I was calling them on myself. You don't like the fact that I have meltdowns over abuse? Try doing something about the abuse instead of taking part in it. When I left Virginia, I needed to be left alone. I wasn't stalking anybody. I had a broken phone. A phone that I didn't even fucking want. Shit, that phone cost me nothing but fucking trouble.